The fact that you just traded on that proves that you can't be
Hands
trusted.
in the air. Turn around slowly.
I cannot believe you just asked me
You
that.
respected me enough not to lie to my face.
We took that final step and lived to tell the tale.
Spoiler warning, if you are not caught up on General Hospital and you want to stay completely surprised, now is the time to pause this video, because what we are about to break down covers the next 2 explosive weeks in Port Charles, and trust me, you do not want these details spoiled without being ready for them. Alright, for everyone still here, welcome to General Hospital Media. Buckle up, because Port Charles is about to go absolutely sideways, and we have every single detail you need to know right now. We are talking dangerous schemes, criminal fallout, secrets being ripped wide open, and characters we love being pushed to the very edge. The next 2 weeks, May 11th through May 22nd, are shaping up to be some of the most intense, most emotionally devastating episodes this show has delivered in a long time. So let's get into it, because there is so much happening and every single storyline is connected in ways that are going to leave your jaw on the floor. Let's start with the man, the myth, the legend, Sonny Corinthos, because something massive is about to shift for him. 4 weeks now, Sonny has been operating under a cloud of uncertainty when it comes to Ava Jerome. He's been suspicious, he's been on edge, and that Corinthos instinct has been telling him something isn't adding up. Well, the week of May 11th is when the fog finally lifts. Rick Lansing, and yes, Rick Lansing is back in the mix, is going to sit Sonny down and tell him what has actually been going on with Ava. And here is the twist that nobody saw coming. The truth isn't nearly as terrible as Sonny feared. Think about that for a second. Sonny Corinthos, a man whose entire world is built on expecting the worst from people, is about to find out that maybe, just maybe, he was wrong about this one. How does a man like Sonny process that? That is a scene you are going to want to watch twice. But Rick surviving that conversation with Sonny is a story in itself. Because let's not forget, these two have history that runs deep and dark and complicated. The fact that Rick walks out of that room breathing is almost as dramatic as whatever he actually says. And then, almost immediately after, Rick links up with Alexis Davis. The two of them are pulling together to support Molly Lansing Davis, and it looks like it may involve celebrating Molly's new book. That is actually a beautiful moment buried inside all this chaos, and it matters because it shows us that even in Port Charles, life keeps moving forward even when everything around you is on fire. Now, while all of that is unfolding on one side of town, over on another side, things are getting far more dangerous. Nina Reeves is in a situation that has no clean exit. Jack Brennan is temporarily paralyzed, and Nina needs to figure out what to do with him, and fast. Because a paralyzed man with dangerous connections and dangerous knowledge is not someone you can just leave sitting around. So the question is whether Valentin Cassadine steps in to help her manage this. And the even wilder question, are we seriously talking about hiding Brennan in Carly Spencer's attic? Because that is the kind of move that sounds absolutely unhinged until you remember that this is Port Charles, and stranger things have happened in this town before breakfast. And speaking of Carly, she is juggling more secrets than any one woman should ever have to carry. Not only is she potentially sheltering an incapacitated Brennan, but she is also keeping things under wraps when it comes to Valentin. And now Ross Cullum is circling, trying to get answers out of her. Carly dodging Cullum's questions while managing all of this. That is a woman on the absolute edge, and one wrong move blows everything wide open. But let's talk about the storyline that is going to hit fans right in the heart, because this one is deeply personal. Dante Falconeri finds out the truth about Rocco, his own son. Rocco pulled the trigger on Ross Cullum, and Lulu Spencer has been lying to Dante's face about it. When Dante confronts Lulu, it is not going to be a quiet conversation. Dante is a cop. He has dedicated his entire life to justice, to doing the right thing, to upholding the law even when it costs him everything. And now his son, his child, is at the center of a shooting. The conflict that tears through Dante in that moment is going to be some of the most raw, most powerful acting this show has seen in a long time. And he doesn't stop there. Dante turns around and comes at Nathan West, who we all know is actually Cassius Faison, and blasts him for his role in the whole deception. Because Cassius knew. He was part of the lie. And Dante is not the kind of man who lets that slide, no matter who you are or what name you're using. Meanwhile, Lulu doesn't just sit back after Dante confronts her. She picks up the phone and alerts Britt Westbourne, because Britt needs to know that Dante has figured it out. And now the ripple effect begins. How many people knew? How many people were quietly protecting this secret? That web of loyalty and deception is about to get pulled apart thread by thread, and nobody is walking away from this clean. Now here is where it gets even more lead. Rocco himself gets into a heated argument with Charlotte Cassadine and Danny Morgan. And there's a strong possibility that Rocco has just caught Danny and Charlotte in a romantic moment, a kiss, a closeness, something that has been building between them while Rocco has been completely in the dark. So not only is this kid carrying the weight of what happened with Cullum, but is also feeling shut out by the people closest to him. That is a volatile combination, and it makes whatever Dante says to him later even more devastating. Over on the other side of Port Charles, Curtis Ashford is pushing hard on what he sees as his mission for justice. But Isaiah Gannon is starting to feel the heat from Curtis's pursuit, and ADA Justine Turner wants answers about the driver who fled the scene of that crash. Here's where it gets complicated. Brooklyn Quartermain believes she is the driver who accidentally left that crash. She's been living with guilt that is slowly eating her alive. And now, with Isaiah potentially about to be arrested for something Brooklyn believes she did, that guilt is going to explode into full-blown crisis. And then there's Jocelyn Jacks, who has never been the kind of woman to sit still and wait for rescue. If she is being held by Cassius Faison, she is not just going to stay quiet and hope someone finds her. She is going to work every angle she has. And it looks like she may try to manipulate Cassius into believing she is actually on his side. That is either a brilliant survival strategy or a gamble that could blow up in her face in the worst possible way. Either way, it is going to be gripping television. Coming into the week of May 18th, the story doesn't slow down for even a second. Rick may be offering Elizabeth a romantic gift, something connected to art, which ties directly back to his agreement with Ava. So whatever that deal between Rick and Ava actually is, it runs deeper than anyone has fully understood yet. And Giovanni is stepping up for Emma Scorpio Drake at a moment when she may be receiving troubling news about Anna from that clinic in France. Anna Devane's situation has been simmering in the background, and if Emma gets news that shakes her to her core, we need people around her who genuinely care. There is so much in motion right now. Secrets that have been buried are clawing their way to the surface. Schemes that started as calculated moves are spiraling beyond anyone's control. Loyalties are being tested at every level, between fathers and sons, between old flames, between people who used to trust each other completely and now can barely stand to be in the same room. So here is what we want to know from you. Which storyline has you on the absolute edge of your seat right now? Is it Dante discovering the truth about Rocco? Is it Nina and the Brennan situation? Is it Brooklyn's guilt threatening to crush her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this community always has the best takes, and we want to hear everything you're thinking. If this video had you fired up, hit that like button right now. It helps more General Hospital fans find us and stay in the loop. Share this with your fellow GH fans because they need to know what is coming. And if you are not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a single update from Port Charles. You are watching General Hospital Media, your home for everything happening in Port Charles, and we are not done yet. More updates, more drama, more explosive reveals are coming your way very soon. This is General Hospital Media. Stay close, stay ready, because Port Charles never sleeps, and neither do we.